I want to believe that it's going to happen. But, okay, let me break it down for you. Amir Khan has some dirt on Kell Brook. It's not my place to say, but if you venture to the dark web at your own, proceed with caution. Amir Khan just does not respect Kell Brook. He doesn't respect him. I'm talking about like in real life. He does not like him. They don't like each other. But the issue is, I feel another reason why Amir Khan won't fight him is Amir Khan knows he can probably most likely outbox Kell Brook. He's the better boxer than Kell Brook. But listen to what I'm saying. Excuse my language, but we've seen it happen before. Kell Brook can knock Amir Khan the fuck out. That's the issue. So the beef is so strong that the fight would be crazy. It would be an exciting fight. Remember what we got from Dylan White and Derek Chisora. Both guys that outside of the ring, they couldn't stand each other. But that fight, they had an extra extra gear that they didn't show in previous fights because they both lost fights before in their career. They had a extra gear that they went to where they said to themselves, I can't get knocked out by him. I'm not going to get knocked out by him. That's what I feel would happen with Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. I feel that Amir Khan would get cracked several times and maybe go down once, but I feel that he would finally wake up. And one thing, come on. Even to the most hardcore Amir Khan supporters, when you watch an Amir Khan fight live, right? Even for the people who don't like Amir Khan, when you see him get knocked out the way he gets knocked out, your heart drops. And you start to feel, you be like, oh my God. Some of that shit I can't replay. Especially, when you're watching, on a big-ass TV or something in high definition, upscaled to 4K, and you seeing him just on a canvas, just looking up, and he take that breath, and almost like his last breath, and in that breath you can see just his soul just, he be gone. when he gets knocked out, he be gone. He be away from this earth. So, imagine if Kell Brook did that to him. These guys have that bitter beef outside the ring, but it's one of those fights. Listen, they gotta get that payday. You gotta get that payday. Put all that shit aside and get that payday. That's another fight. You know how everything over in the UK, major fights, got to go to Wembley. That's a Wembley. Amir Khan, remember the Khan army that people keep talking about? Maybe they'll finally show up. People always talking about how the Khan army is going to show up to this. If he fight this person, the whole Khan army from Dubai and Pakistan and Mumbai going to come over. It's going to be craziness. You're going to see golden Ferraris and lions and tigers all on the Vegas Strip. That Arab money. You know how many times we done heard that? But I think for Wembley, and then maybe even Kell Brook and, just whatever kind of beef he got with his pop, settle that. Yeah, I know. Listen, I know all of it. I know all of it. But Kell Brook alluded to, or you have to think, right? He knows because Eddie Hearn, his promoter, would tell him, yeah, we're talking to Al Heyman about the Amir Khan fight. So on his Twitter, he alluded to the fact that, because he couldn't just straight say, I guess he didn't, that Hearn and Heyman, or both sides, are talking about potential fight. If it were to happen, I say May. But I would say July. I would say July because already Eddie Hearn is stacking up the pay-per-views. He's got Hey Bellew in March, the beginning of March though, but at the end of April, you got a Joshua Klitschko, and then if he was to do Brook Khan in May, it wouldn't be on May the 6th, on another date where Canelo is going to be fighting, where it is Chavez Jr. It couldn't be on that day because it would be too close 1 week away from that other pay-per-view, Joshua Klitschko. So I would say they would do it for July. They would take that month, June off, of not, destroying people's pockets with pay-per-views over there, even though we get it a lot worse here in the States. Still, if he was to do a pay-per-view in March, April, and May, he already said himself, for the that he didn't like doing pay-per-views back-to-back, like every month. So, he wouldn't just do that. I don't see them doing that, just having like 3 straight pay-per-views, So it will probably most likely be in July. But see, here's the thing. On Kell Brook's side, understand that he's the IBF 147-pound champion. Many feel that he shouldn't be fighting at 147 anymore because it's too much for him to make that weight. We already know that. That's confirmed. A rumor out there was that for the Diego Chavez fight, not only did he get his ribs broken, I know exactly by who. I found out. I can't say it. I was sworn to secrecy. I know who did it. But also he was having trouble making that weight. So he has some options. He has to fight Errol Spence. He's the mandatory. He has to. But to not fight a mandatory, he could fight Manny Pacquiao because a unification for the IBF and the WBO would trump a mandatory. But still, after that, Errol Spence would have to face the winner, which would be a good scenario for him because he'll be able to fight for 2 belts against a fighter that many think that he can beat in Pacquiao. People think Spence can beat Pacquiao. And people think Spence can beat Brook. I don't know yet. So he can go that route. He can fight Amir Khan, pay Amir Khan some step-aside money. I'm not Amir Khan, pay Errol Spence some step-aside money. It will be a significant amount, or should be a significant amount, because of how big Brook Khan would be. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sure they can find a way to cut Errol Spence like a $800,000 or $1 million or something like that. For example, word is for Canelo Cotto, Triple G got $800,000 step-aside money. And one of the reasons why he dropped the belt is because the WBC was like, okay, all right, that's Golovkin's money. Now where's our money for the belt? Give us another $800,000 or something like that. So that's why he was like, he tried to make it seem in the media, he tried to make it seem like, the WBC is charging me all this outrageous sanctioning fee. No, they charge you the sanctioning fee for the belt. Golovkin's step-aside money don't have nothing to do with that, Don't have nothing to do with that. So he was trying to burn somebody. He not slick. Or somebody in his team didn't tell him, like, that's different, But anyway, where was I at? Oh, yeah, they could, depending on how big Brook versus Khan is going to be a big fight. They can pay Errol Spence, I'm just throwing out an arbitrary number. I don't know. They can just say, well, listen, if Khan going to make, 8 to 12 million, then Brook's going to make like 6 to 10 million because Brook is going to have to. Come on, we're not going to get into the politics of it. We're not going to talk about that. Let's stay on path. They could cut. I'm sure they can find $1 million or so to cut Errol Spence, and Errol Spence can go fight somebody else. But the IBF may not give a fuck. They may say something like, we don't got nothing to do with that. He got to fight him, because if you don't fight him, or if you don't fight a unification, then you holding up our belt. You see what I'm saying? So the IBF may say, the IBF may not say, they paying step-aside money? That's cool, as long as we get a cut. We don't know. For example, they didn't give a rat's ass about the rematch clause with Tyson Fury versus Klitschko. That's why they stripped Tyson Fury. They would plead, from my understanding, they went to the IBF and told the IBF, it's a rematch clause. We got to fight him again. We can't fight Tsar Glaskov. The IBF was like, we don't give a fuck about that rematch clause. You fight, the hell with that rematch clause. You fight Tsar Glaskov or give us our belt back. And sure enough, Tyson Fury got pinched. They stripped him. And that's when he said he would never fight for an IBF title again. So, anyway, those are the options. Either Kell Brook can fight Pacquiao in a unification, therefore that'll hold off the Spence fight. He can fight Amir Khan and pay Errol Spence some step-aside money, but the IBF would have to allow. You know, or he can just fight Errol Spence in the UK, and it'll be a big money fight. And already, Kell Brook's got huge respect over there for giving Golovkin some early issues, small early issues, and the fact that he fought Golovkin, period. So people can't say he's afraid to fight Errol Spence. But even if he fights him, fighting Golovkin, getting your eye socket broken, then going straight to fighting Kell Brook, you got to give that man respect. I mean, Errol Spence, you got to give him respect. You know? For real. Anyway, and then at his post-fight interview, how he was talking that big money ball shit. You know, he was like, you know, stop the fight, knock me out. Eye socket broken it all. You know, it is what it is. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. All the links to my social media right down below in the description box. Please subscribe.